Okay, so I just got finished building the entry grade, which means it's kids play. It's really simple. This is the 144 scale, of course. Build, strike, exceed, galaxy. Okay, so overall it's gorgeous. I love the colors. I love the translucent pieces on it, but there is a building flaw in here. There's a definite design flaw. His legs, I don't know how to explain it exactly, but there's not enough cuption to go around the ball joint. So if you mess with this, it's going to pop off the legs. Like, they're going to just not stick on there as well. They come off too easy like that right there. So that's going to be an issue. When you put it on, it doesn't pop. It doesn't feel like you've really gotten it securely in there. So the legs are going to come off if you mess with this too much. And that's a sad thing, because I love posing my Gundams. I like how it has double jointed knees. The legs, the feet are on a ball joint right here, and there's also a joint, like say a tip, and you know, he can get like in better positions, like, you know, with his heels. He's got double jointed elbows, which his guns are kind of in the way right now. His shoulders are on a ball joint, and they didn't pop into place really well, but they're fine. His head's on a dumbbell joint, which means there's a ball at the bottom and the ball inside the head, so he can be like, oh yeah. And he can do a little bit head to side, but unfortunately you're not going to get much of that because of the fact that there's the collar, I guess you can call it. The face, now there's absolutely no painting and no stickers involved in these kits right here, and that's one great thing about it. So that face is all, you know, layers of plastic. There's a red layer, there's the teeny tiny little translucent green layer, and then there's the, you know, white. There's, of course, the gray layer that's the little guns on the side of his head. And yeah, I think it's a really beautiful kit. All I can say is that the ball joints and the thighs, that's going to be an issue, unfortunately. So if you pick up this kit, just be aware of that. These are extra pieces. I just decided to stab them into here, but he's got lots and lots of 3mm ports. So like right here's a port. On his legs, well, there's no leg on that side right now. On his legs, there's ports. On the guns, there's ports. On this backpack thing, which can also be a shield, can also be a little flying thing. Let me just show you that, because instead of trying to explain it, I can just show it to you. I'm always feeling like I'm in a hurry, like I'm doing long distance or something now. Like I'm gonna hurry up because I'm talking long distance. So this backpack, which can also be like a shield, turns into like, and it kind of reminds me of G Gundam. That's why it's like, well, this is straight Gundam, but turns into like a little jet with adjustable wings. And the thruster in the back is humongous, huge. But it kind of reminds me how G Gundams, how they would park inside of the Gundams, that they would like, how do I explain it? Basically, you flew your ship to your Gundam, and then you plugged into your Gundam and boarded your Gundam, I guess. They didn't do it too many times on the show, so it's hard to remember that far back. That was back like 20 years ago. Or 30 years ago if you were watching it in Japan. I didn't see it till it came into Toonami, thanks to the, not the internet, the, what is it called? Satellite dish. Yeah, but again, the ball joints on the legs are not popping all the way in. I'm not sure if there's some kind of magic trick I got to do, but that's not thick enough. If it was a little bit extra wide, it would be able to cup it better. But I noticed it was shallow, and then when I put it on, it's not going around and cupping it. So I'm not getting a secure, you know, click on there. So you better just go ahead and put it in a nice little position you want it, and just let it sit there and look pretty, because that's about all you're going to do. There are some other options to the weapons. Now, I like plugging the shield, having the glowy thing in there, but it can also go on this gun thing, and of course, see the handle? It makes the gun into a sword. Now, I personally like swords, so I was just putting in the shield at first. It'll probably be like that on my shelf, because I like swords. And plus, he already has another Gundam. There's no reason, a Gundam. He already has one gun. He doesn't really need two. So, it's a gun sword, much like the Action Masters had back in the 80s. Now, you could tell it's definitely a Strike Gundam because of this feature of his chest. That definitely has that Strike Gundam look. But it also has some new concepts to it, because this is from, well, it doesn't say. I mean, I thought this was going to be from one of those battle logs or whatever, because they made older Gundams and they kind of like brought them to the modern, like they updated them. And that's one of the things I like about battle logs, even though I hated the cartoon. The cartoon was more like Yu-Gi-Oh, which is like, I'm putting my Gundam in and we're gonna fight. Oh, it wasn't even realistic. It was like kids playing it with Pokemons or something. But yeah, that's the only flaw I can say. It takes not very long. I probably could have done a live video of me putting it together, but then again, I'd feel rushed, and it's not something, I have not built this particular kit before. And one of the things I was saying about glue in my short, if you want to glue some things, there's only one set of hands with this, which is weird because normally what I hate is sometimes they'll cheap out and give you one plate and they're going to give you like a stretch hand, a point hand, whatever, different type of hands with one plate. So you don't want to glue those on. I would recommend going ahead and gluing this on because it's such a tiny piece and it would make it more secure. I would not glue it on until you have it all by itself like this. Put a little bit of glue in, you know, the part where it connects and let it set overnight. That's what I plan to do. So it'll make it a little bit more secure. That's the only piece on there I would say that I would want to put some glue on. If you have any kind of remedy for the thin thighs, is what I'm going to call them, the thin thighs that don't go into the ball socket really well, please let me know. The only thing I can think of is maybe putting a layer of rubber cement around the cup part and then putting it on, but I don't know if that would be like, since it's rubber cement, if it would leach into the plastic and cause it to fuse over like days or time. That would be my apprehension about that. I guess the best remedy is just to leave it alone and not play with this one so much. And that's the sad thing, because entry-level Gundams are usually very posable, very play-friendly. They make you want to play with them. This one, not so much. I mean, I would have wanted to play with it, but I feel like as soon as I start trying to pose it, like, you know, put it in really cool poses, like having the leg stance, it's just going to fall apart. When I'm trying to get like some kind of really cool pose where I would normally have like the legs spread apart and put his gun out. The hand's coming out too easy, and then turning it this way. So they might want to go back to the drawing board and do a few more engineering upgrades to this particular kit. It's a beautiful kit, but it's not as good as their other entry-level grades or entry-level Gundams. So keep on working at it, Bandai. I'd appreciate some kind of feedback from Bandai if you're watching, which I doubt they will. But it would be nice to know what to do about those legs. Otherwise, he's going to end up just being kind of like a statue. Too fragile to actually mess with. Or just go back into the box. Normally, if you wondered how big your Gundams are in the past, it's the shorter side of this, not the shortest side. But they're not that long, obviously. It's the short, like up to here. And he's really tiny. I mean, they normally come up a little bit higher than this. So he's a very small one. I think they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I think it's shrinkflation for Gundams. Well, there's the bio booster, whatever you want to call it. And this one was made in 2023. I got mine, I think, from that place in Florida, Gundam USA. So let me know if you picked this one up, if you had the same issues, and if you had a fix for it. Have a great day, and keep on building.